Today, I want to cover an incredibly important topic for startup founders and entrepreneurs, because it is harder than ever for incubators, accelerators to get their portfolio companies funded. Why? Because investors are demanding and want to see the numbers behind the story. And that often includes revenue projections, customer acquisition costs, lifetime value projections, and how they interact with each other. Not to mention the assumptions behind those projections. So as a result, portfolio companies often fail miserably in understanding, presenting and backing up such numbers for their investors. Which brings me on to the problem. How do you get funded? Now, typically, less than 20% of portfolio companies are getting funded or receive follow-on investments. And one of the major reasons for this is because they don't understand the metrics that matter. Essentially, we've got two different sides here, talking completely different languages. And the startups don't know how to model their business to actually present it to investors. But this show is about solutions, not problems. I hear you shouting down your phone. I get it. I hear you. And you are right. And that's why I've invited the guys from Leancase onto the show today. Because Leancase supports incubators, accelerators, VCs, private equity, family offices and business angels to get their portfolio companies funded. But I'm not going to give you all the answers in my intro. That's not how it works either. So buckle up and hold on tight, gang, so I can beam your ears all the way to Germany so we can speak with Eckhard Ottwein, entrepreneur, business model expert and founder at Leancase. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Well, sure. Thanks a lot, Neil, first of all, for having me on your show. And it's a great honor, really. My name is Eckhard Ottwein. I founded and exited two companies. The first one was Paybooks, a mobile payments company, which was acquired by Sybase SAP about 10 years ago. The second one was Excels, a startup with a team from Israel, which was acquired by Ping Identity about 4 years ago. I'm now working with Bryan Garnier, which is a French investment bank, as an advisor in mergers and acquisitions, and we find investors and buyers of mainly software and SaaS companies in the B2B space. I'm also a member of a digital advisory board of a large German bank, and I'm working as a partner in two smaller VC companies, but I can't really do without product, and that's why I started Leancase.
My understanding is Leancase supports incubators, accelerators, VCs, private equity, family offices and business angels to just get their portfolio companies funded. So can you help anyone listening that are just hearing about you for the first time by maybe setting the scene and telling them a little bit more about the kind of problems that you solve for your clients and what makes you different from other solutions out there?
Well, in my different roles, I have experienced and I am experiencing the funding and investment process from the startup and investor side. And I believe when it comes to metrics and numbers, this process is really completely broken. And actually, this is not only true if we talk about startup and investors, it's also true for if we talk about decision-making in corporates and decision makers about taking decisions about corporate projects. So I think one of the biggest challenges is that often the relevance of unit economics is completely ignored. So what is unit economics? It is about answering the simple question, is the lifetime value of a customer significantly higher than the cost to acquire him? And this is a super important question. I've seen companies asking for money to scale their company, but the unit economics just weren't right. And this is really wasting money. Yeah. So often, this question is completely ignored in any Excel sheets when it comes to business modeling. And from the startup side, business modeling today, it is really about reinventing the wheel every time. You develop an Excel spreadsheet from scratch again, or you try to find a suitable template. And instead of dealing with the business questions, you have to take care about Excel formulas. And most people aren't just pros in Excel, and they will actually never become one. And that is why many spreadsheets are simplified or full of errors. And I was lucky in one situation that I had a great model, but even if you have a great model, you don't have any clue about realistic benchmarks. And then it means garbage into a great model is also garbage out. And you can also look at it from the investor side. From the investor side, investors they often receive 10 Excel spreadsheets, and 8 of them are really too simplified, and it's almost not worthwhile opening them. And the 9th one is completely over-engineered, and the 10th one is a good one. But even if you set this quality issue aside, even if you had 10 great models as an investor, you cannot compare them. They're all using different structures. They use different definitions and formulas, and you need time to understand them and check if they work right. And how, as an investor, do you ever want to gain insights, learn, and improve with this kind of structure?
And as this is a tech show, we do have a lot of startup founders listening as well. I've got to ask, what kind of technology or what role does technology play in your business at Leancase?
Technology is really important for us at Leancase. Because we want to come up with a standard set of templates and business models that will cover more than 80% of all the business cases which are typically done. And this is why Leancase has to be a very flexible platform. And we have built into the platform a modeling and calculation layer. And in the future, users will be able to inject new models even almost on the fly. And currently, we are at a point where we can add new models, even specific for customers, and make them reusable in a few days. And that is already much faster than you can create a new Excel model from scratch.